It is May of 2023 and it's warming up, that's for sure, right? So today I took a day off work, so we got an extra day this weekend because we have a consultation tomorrow. So Garrett, looking forward to that. We're trying to get our big projects done before summer hits and the real hot weather hits. And we're coming up against that really soon. So this week you worked on a couple things. The first one was a banana. What did we do with the banana?
We had the little shade cloth on it and it was just like this big basically. It was smaller than the tree, but so we decided to do a bigger shade cloth area for it to shade it and also help with the wind hopefully.
Right, the wind is the most important thing. Shade it doesn't really need because it takes the full sun. The problem is the wind. It rips up the leaves real bad, and until we can get the sugarcane to block it, we're gonna give it some a little bit of wind protection on the west side, which is where most of our winds come in. Now we also, actually it's your idea, to go ahead and expand our water tank over here right behind us. We had run water to the ducks, geese, and the turkeys. And so you had the great idea to
expand it to the goats.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I fill their buckets up like 3 times a day of water.
Right, so why not have a big 50, 55 gallon container full of water for them as well? So what did you do?
So I had to tee off from the turkey area, then extended the PVC line all the way down to the goats. And then I had to do a bunch of different little attachments to get it into the goat area with the little quick release on there. That'll be easy. I like that in the duck area because it's really easy to unhook that, not having to turn the actual water off and then cleaning the bowl out. Yeah,
so we got the bowl installed last night, right? So now we have automatic water to the ducks, geese, turkeys, the goats, the pigs, both sets of pigs, the chickens. So we actually don't have any animals that don't have automated water at this point. In bulk water.
Yep.
Cool. Now we've been a little busy with mulberries. If you guys aren't taking a look at our Instagram and Facebook pages, go pop over there. You'll see we use the tarp. We don't enjoy using the tarp because it's hard to get through all the mess that comes out of the tree. We wound up with about 25 pounds of mulberries that we harvested just off of the everbearing tree on one harvest.
Yeah, on the 3 trees, that one, day.
We've been harvesting from the Black Pakistan, the Shangri-La, the Persian, the Everbearing, and even the White Persian. So we've got mulberries from all those. Now we freeze these, right? And we estimated this morning we have over 150 pounds of mulberries between those different varieties. Well over 150 pounds.
Yeah, because we have about 51 gallon bags.
And those are all 3 to 4 pounds a piece.
Yeah.
Depending on how much is in there. Yeah, so it's a lot. So the good thing with that is wine takes about 20 to 30 pounds of mulberries. So doing the math, and that makes about 5 gallons of wine. That's a lot of wine.
Yeah.
That's a lot of mulberry wine.
Well, we have to save some for our smoothies.
Oh, that's true. Okay, so maybe we save about...
Gotta get through a year till we get them again next year.
So we'll save, I don't know, 12 or 13 bags for that. Otherwise...
yeah, wine.
Yeah, I think so too. Ooh, you know what? I want to go get some Loquats for breakfast.
Okay.
I'm going to teach you the proper way to eat one of these.
Proper way? I like my way of eating it.
Well, first of all, you're just going to try this way.
Okay.
So then you're just gonna eat the butt end. That's right there.
I'm not gonna eat it, I can spit it out, right?
Yeah. Sorry, bite the butt.
Okay.
Then you eat off a side. It gets down to the seeds. Scoop the seeds. Eat the rest.
Can we just sit here and just eat them all day?
That's what I'm doing.
I was doing it where I bite the top off, squeeze the seeds out, and then basically bite the rest of it.
So I bite the bottom, You just came up with a new method. Bite the bottom off, squeeze the seeds.
Well, that's what I just did. Well, but I was doing it, I wasn't biting the bottom, I was biting the top, squeeze the seeds out, and then bite down to the bottom. So.
I like bite the butt, squeeze the seed. That's the official method.
I think that's the best way because then I have the butt end that I'm still trying to deal with. This way?
Yep. So we want this to overhang a little bit if we can. I just don't know if we're going to be able to do this way. $33.5 and $32.5.
Oh my goodness.
Working on our Thanksgiving turkey enclosure. Last year we had this about half the size. We had 40 plus birds in there. It was way too many birds for that amount of space. So what we did last weekend is we went ahead and expanded that by putting a couple of dog kennels together. We have 2 of the panels up on the top to help support a roof. What you saw us doing today was actually going back and installing some OSB. In fact, I have to call you guys out because you called me out. Last week I was calling that plywood and it's OSB. So let me clarify. In my mind it's always plywood. This is OSB. But we have that across the top and we have those connected so that they completely cover the entire top of the enclosure here. Now the thing with turkeys is they need shade, but they handle the elements once they're older just fine. We raise these birds from the middle of July through the middle of November. So the weather is hot when they're small and just beautiful when they're about to finish. So the only thing we really want to do is make sure that they have shade in the middle of the day. And we do want to keep some of the elements off of them if we get some of those monsoon storms here during the summer. Now we still need to come back. We need to install our feeders. You'll see we have some wood on the ground that we went ahead and purchased ahead of that. Haven't figured out yet exactly what we're going to use for those feeders, but we have some ideas. One of the things we talk to you guys about off and on is we do consultations for folks here in and around the Phoenix area. And actually, this is a follow-up to a consultation we did about 1.5 years ago. So we're here with Garrett and Megan, and they've got pretty much your traditional yard here in the Phoenix area. What you see behind me here is a little unique because they have a kind of a short stretch that was completely barren when we were here 1.5 years ago. There was literally nothing here, maybe some kind of spent concrete and things like that back behind the camera where Lori's at. But for the most part, what you see behind me here is all brand new. Now, what they've done is several different things. The first thing I want to point out is their ever-bearing mulberry. So this tree actually came from our farm. So this tree is thriving here in Arizona. As we've talked about before, because that has been grown and it was propagated here in Arizona, it's ideal for our climate and the tree is thriving. They also have a peach tree. They bought several of these trees from Reed at RSI Growers. You know we're a fan. They have a white peach tree that has a fruit set on it here. The peaches themselves are nice and big, probably about the size of a baseball, about to ripen up for them here. Along the side of their yard here, they've used that space. You can see mid-morning here, we're in nice full sun. All of these trees are getting full sunlight here as we speak. Against that wall, it's getting nice and hot here as we're in May of 2023. That wall actually is going to be covered by different types of blackberries and a boysenberry. The Primark blackberry that they have has got ripe fruit on it right now, and eventually, as we were talking about, that'll pretty much overtake that entire wall. Now behind me here, one of the trees that they have planted is a plueberry. That tree is doing fantastic. Of all the trees they have planted, I'd say that's probably the, if not one of the strongest trees. Now they've got an area where they've got a pool in the back and it's surrounded by walls, and what they're doing is utilizing that for a couple of tropical trees because they've got some moisture back there with the pool that they're not going to have out here. And along that wall, they've got a few guavas, and they've also placed some grapevines up against a wall as well. And the grapevines are doing really, really well. They're looking at expanding that by about double the space and just getting a tremendous amount of production there. So now a couple things that they've been challenged with here that we get asked all the time. The first one is irrigation. was a little concerned because he was losing some trees and couldn't figure out why. They're using drip irrigation back here, which is just fine. We use that on the old farm. The challenge is they're irrigating too close to the tree itself once the tree is established. So the key with irrigation here in Arizona is to irrigate next to the tree only for the first few months, but continuing to irrigate and pull the irrigation away from the tree and not have the irrigation right up on top of it. Only need that irrigation near that new planting for the first few months, and then it needs to be expanded out. Still getting great success, but I think with a few tweaks here and there, they're gonna have an even bigger food forest than you see behind me here. So this is a garden bed that they designed. I like it because it's up off the ground, so you don't have to worry about bunnies and ground squirrels. So if you're able to do something like this, I would actually encourage you to do that. Now the challenge is it's not quite deep enough. So we talked a little bit about the soil. We need to get about an extra 6 to 8 inches of soil here to really make it effective. They did plant out some annual veggies in here, and they had all of their crops fail. Now one of the reasons is because they're using the Kellogg's garden soil, and they're using that exclusively. Now, we made the same mistake on our very first garden bed 15 or 16 years ago, did the exact same thing. The challenge with that soil is that it has no soil structure at all. And so we're finding that utilizing something like this by about a third, so using a third of this, about a third sand, and about a third of the native soil is a much better option. Or even better, because this is basically a very, very large pot, just use potting soil. It's gonna go a lot further for production for you, and you basically have an instant garden bed. So just wanted to show you guys what a typical lot in the middle of the city can look like with just a little bit of work, and of course plenty of wood chips here on the ground. But you can see they're well on their way to an amazing food forest right in the middle of the city here in Arizona. So we had a good time yesterday with Garrett and Megan, and they are well on their way to a food forest, now looking for more land.
Yes.
That's what happens. You fill up your backyard just like we did, what, 15 years ago? And like, okay, we're out. We need more space. So berry season obviously in full swing. We talk about it all the time, but it takes us a half an hour to harvest all the black Pakistans and get 2 gallons. It takes us less than 20 minutes to harvest all of the Shangri-La and get at least a gallon or so, right? It takes us about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes to harvest a couple gallons worth of blackberries. And it takes us 2 hours to harvest a couple gallons of the everbearing. So we've had you guys suggest using a tarp under the trees, and we do that, but we only do it once or twice because there's so many. We've got, I think I mentioned it earlier, we've got that picture up on Instagram of 25 pounds of mulberries on a tarp, and it probably took us about 2 to 3 hours to go through and clean all those up.
Sort them, and you have to pull out, you know, all the leaves and unripe berries and
wood chips and bugs
and bird poop.
Yeah. So in the end, it's more comfortable to do it this way, at least most of the time, right?
Yeah, and when you can get a branch that has several on, it's easy to just put the bucket under it and just kind of slide your hand on it, and most of them drop in there.
Right.
So.
You just got to tickle the berries.
Oh my goodness.
Like we're talking about.
You can keep tickling the berries.
No. You can keep tickling the berries. So I think we did a double count yesterday. We have over 200 pounds of berries
in the freezer.
We've been harvesting for the last few weeks on mulberries, and then what do we have that's kicking into high gear now?
Blackberries.
So we need to get some of that done, and then right behind that is
peaches.
And then right behind that is apricots and plums. Along with apples. I think we need more freezers.
I know, isn't that insane? And we have so many.
We've got, I don't know, we got 6 or 7 freezers, and we're gonna fill them fast.
Yeah. But what's nice is that it's not everything at one time. So it's not, you know, the mulberries, the peaches, and the blackberries all at the same time.
Right.
So
it's the consecutive ripening.
Yeah.
Just kind of by design. That's how we designed it, right? So that we would get fruit every month out of the year, which we pretty much are there now. So just want to thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We cover a lot of things here on this newly established functioning farm here in the Arizona desert, and would love to see you on a regular basis. If you have any questions or comments, those go where?
In the comment section down below.
Yes, they do. And our Amazon shop, I'll leave a link down in the description. That is a free, painless way to help support the channel. If you start with the link down below, it doesn't matter what you buy. you help to support us here. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere,
So can you?
let's go tickle some more berries,
Oh
sweetie.
my goodness. You're ridiculous.
This is nice. Maybe we just stay here and not do anything today.
I'm not falling for that again.
And then go take a nap
Yep.
with some popcorn.
That would never happen. Don't make me hopeful.
No, I don't want to make you hopeful. Not at all. We wound up with about 25 pounds, no, gallons. We wound up with about 25 gallons. No, that's not right. It was 25 pounds. 25 pounds, gallons, I don't know. It's something like that. You could be a Neanderthal too. Just take the butt end off.
Eat the whole thing and spit the seeds out.
So of course I get one to do that with that has like 5 seeds in there.
Yeah. How did you get around that entire tree and I got 2 branches?
Well, maybe I'm not being as
You're
thorough.
not getting them all, 'cause look at, there's a perfect one right
Hey! Don't give me such a hard time. I'm not the professional berry picker that you are.
here. I'm definitely not a professional berry picker.
I used to be a really good booger picker.
What?
Isn't that close? Berries, boogers, close
That's
enough.
disgusting.
I have to take my shirt off, but I ain't gonna do that on camera. Ain't nobody want to see me with my shirt off on camera.
You made me be on camera with a tube top on.
Honey, you know what? People want to see you with a tube top
Oh, I
on.
don't
They're not
think
interested
so.
in seeing me with a shirt off. I don't want to see me with a shirt off. Oh, so I'm kind of tickling the berries.
Tickling the berries. What is tickling the berries?
Can I show you later?
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, I was tickling the berries and I was getting a bunch of leaves and red ones. I found my spot for today. I think I'm just gonna stay right here. Can you go ahead and put in the turkey watering system?
Sure.
All right, we're done. I'm out.